So this week you guys are going to be getting my personal final review of Sloane Crosley's book, I Was Told There'd Be Cake. Last week I read a different couple comments in the video where people said it was difficult to read this book after reading Jenny Lawson's book because the tone was so different. And in a few of my videos I even compared certain elements of Jenny Lawson's book to Sloane Crosley's book. And I think that has really made me wonder how we might have perceived this book differently if we hadn't read it after reading a book that had such a casual tone. And had we not been reading this book after reading Jenny Lawson's book, I'm not even sure that I would have thought the tone was that formal. And I wrote down that I think that maybe it was a little bit unfair of me to keep making the Jenny Lawson comparisons as often as I did. I think I did it once or twice, maybe more, but I still think that was too much for me. Jenny Lawson was writing as someone who is first and foremost a blogger, although of course she also has had other things published as well, while Sloane Crosley is writing this book as someone who writes for publications. So it just doesn't seem like the comparisons match up very well. I think I mentioned last week that I do really like that this book seems very well planned and well thought out, and I think all you really have to do to see that Sloane Crosley has a way with words is read the acknowledgments in the back, and you can just see how careful she is with what she says. So some things that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the cyclical nature of many of the chapters, the attention to word choice and sentence structure, and I like how it didn't feel like the humor in the book was being forced upon us or sort of forced down our throats. I will say that I think that the author sort of expected the audience to know some things that are not common knowledge that I think could have used some more explaining. And also, to be 100% completely honest, I almost never like reading about people who live in New York City, and that is just a very personal bias of mine. And I am wearing a New York City shirt this week, so you can call me a hypocrite if you want. I've just found that many New York City writers are very unrelatable, and they also seem to be very New York City centric in that they expect you to know everything that is going on there. But I also made a note that I actually think that Sloane Crosley did a decent job overcoming this because I didn't get that strong of a feel of that, although I do think she was sort of walking that line in a few parts. My favorite chapter was Sign Language for Infidels, which was the butterfly chapter, and I think that was because I found Sloane Crosley's analysis of volunteering and volunteerism to be very humorous and open and honest. And overall, comparisons to all other books aside, I found this an enjoyable, thoughtful, and honest book. Once again, I wanted to say thanks to you guys, to everyone who read this book with me. You guys are awesome as usual. And next week we will be starting Self-Inflicted Wounds by Aisha Tyler, but there is no reading assignment. I will just be introducing the book and the author, but you should still go ahead and grab that book from the library. And I will see you guys Wednesday.